Steph from Stitching with Steph, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a stitch with me, and as you can see on the image here, it is like a traditional Chinese village. It is from Classical Cross Stitch. I call this particular canvas Spring Mountain. It is an 11 count, which requires those 3 strands. The image size is 50 by 50 centimeters. It is 37 colors, and I will have a link in the description box for the design in case you want to stitch this with me as well. So if you're a subscriber, you're going into, I think, week 7. Let me take a look. Yes, week 7 stitch with me. So thank you for coming back. If you're a subscriber, I really appreciate you hanging out with me today for this stitch with me. If you're not a subscriber and this is the type of content that you like, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And if you like this particular type of canvas, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Lastly, if you want, go ahead and leave a comment of where you're watching from. I do like to see where my viewers are streaming from. And then also, I just wanted to let everybody know that I do have a Facebook group now. So if you want to go ahead and be a part of our little group that we're starting to put together over there, you can go ahead and look it up. It is Stitching with Steph, and I'll also have a link in the description box below for that as well. Let's go ahead and dive right into this stitch with me, guys. All right, friends. So in my previous stitch with me's earlier in the week, I did mention that I did not put in a lot of work on some of my canvases because I was really focused on my large counted cross stitch that I did start this week, as well as my Sailor Moon one, because I really am starting to enjoy the way that one's starting to come out. So today what we're going to do is we're going to finish up where we started last week in color number 3770. It is this symbol. And I do apologize right now if my camera is a little bit wobbly because my washer and dryer laundry room is right next to my office. And even though you can't hear my washer, it's really quiet. I don't know what it is. When it's in the spin cycle, it like wobbles my cameras, and they're mounted, which cracks me up. I don't even understand, guys. Don't ask me. I didn't engineer it, okay? So back on topic, we're going to finish or try to get some of this shading into the sunset in the sky all in through here. You can see, look at that. I originally started way over here. So this is where we started. We worked our way around. And so my goal is, since this is a spring mountain kit, I have a monthly stitch with me, which I do once a week, which is my April one right now. And then I do have a seasonal one as well. So I automatically do those every week, and then I throw in some other stitch with me's with whatever I kind of feel like, with what I'm working on, if I'm doing a new start, etc. So if you're new here, there's a quick little rundown of how we operate over here on my channel. So let's go ahead and get into this. So what is everybody else up to today? Me, it is chore day and laundry day for me. So, and one of my kids is home from school and I hear him in the background moaning. So I might have to pause you to see what's going on. It's my other teenager, so sounds like he's heading my way. Hopefully, we'll see. Give me a second. I need to see what happened here. I don't know if maybe I just parked my needle there and it kind of messed it up, or what happened. There we go. So when that happens, I kind of just fix it and move it into an X. This particular canvas, I do have to do a lot of like up and down, if that makes sense. So I might have to reposition it just because of the way it is. Let me see. I think I am going to reposition. See, this is the nice thing about when you hand stitch, you can kind of like adjust if you need to, which I just did. Okay, there's that. Alrighty, here we go. Now we're back. Yeah, so far this week, you should have been able to see on my channel, I did a review. Let me look at my filming schedule. So this week so far, you should have seen 2 reviews. My April stitch with me and my large canvas start. So if you haven't seen those yet, head on over, take a look at those. Let me know what you think about them. That large canvas, I was here for it, guys. I can't wait to see the finished product on that one. Just because it's been in my stash for so long. I think a lot of them, this one included, has been in my stash for a while. I started quote unquote collecting cross stitch kits back in 2020 when what happened? In 2020 when the lockdowns took effect. Just for me to have something to do that was calm, because I was working in the hospital and working from home doing finances on the side for a law firm. So I needed something that would keep me entertained. And there's my kid. Give me a second. Sorry about that. I just heard him like loud holler and I didn't understand why, so I didn't know if he got hurt or something. No, he got mad because his assignment reset. Well, I don't know what to say about all that, sir. Besides, we got to get it done. And in our house, if we have schoolwork due, unless you're puking and pooing your brains out, if you miss a day of school, I still have those assignments get done. As long as they're reasonable and it can be knocked out like relatively fast. So that's my thing, is like, just get it done, right? Like, because it's still going to be there tomorrow and then you're going to be stressed out about it all day. Like, there's no point. Like, let's just, and that way, I'm home with him. So if he has questions about his homework, I can kind of pause a video and go and help him if I need to. So sorry about that little pause and distraction there. Joys of motherhood, I tell ya. So, but yeah, a lot of my canvases are from my previous stash. However, ever since I did start my YouTube channel, I do have a pretty consistent flow of like new items coming in that I will buy to either add to my stash, or I plan on doing giveaways at certain like subscriber milestones. I haven't decided that far ahead, like what milestones I'm looking for before I start doing subscriber giveaways, and like they're called racks, random acts of kindness. So I haven't decided yet. I was talking to my husband. I was planning on taking anatomy and physiology and human growth and development next semester, but then it dawned on me that summer semester is about a month shorter than a typical fall and spring semester. I'm taking a really heavy class I would say it's easy. The content should be relatively easy, but I was like telling my husband I didn't want to be like too stressed out with work and school and like the kids being on summer break, and then I didn't want my YouTube channel to suffer since I have good stamina going, and my projections are good. I'm building a good community here and I've made some friends already on here. Like, I didn't want my channel to suffer because of that one extra class on top of the kids being on summer break. Like, I want to get out more. So I think I'm just going to take one class, which is AMP, because that's going to require at least 16 to 20 hours of studying a week. My other class would have required 9 to 12-ish. So I was like, I don't know if I want to do that in the summertime. So I'll probably just pick that class up in the fall because I can get more done when my kids aren't home. I'll be 100% honest with you, which is why I do my filming on days that my kids are in school, because I'm not constantly interrupted. As you could see, I already had to pause this video to see why he was yelling. And I wouldn't even necessarily say yelling, it's just he was being a bit dramatic in my opinion for no reason. So I'm just like, sir, what are we doing with ourselves? Like, is it necessary? So I had to like politely remind him, like, hey, you don't need to yell at technology. It can't, first of all, hear you, nor does it have feelings to care. And B, like, sometimes my mic, depending on the decibel level of what the outside or surrounding sounds is, it can pick it up. There'll be times where I'm like, oh, I thought I would pick it up, that sound. And then when I go to do my edits, it's not there. And then there's other times where I'm just like, oh, well, that picked up pretty clear. Like, and in my room where I stitch, I have like these vents above my doors in all of our houses. We had it built that way. It helps with air circulation. What it does not help you do is handle noise control very well. So, yeah, it was a catch-22. But again, when we built this house, I did not, and did I ever think I was going to start a YouTube channel? Let's be for real here, guys. I just recently started this. We built our house about, I want to say, what year are we in? 2025. We're coming, actually, it just passed 4 years. 4 years on the 18th. So when we built this house, I was doing healthcare and finances, and my husband, like, nothing, we were back in the work field, right? Like, we weren't working from home or anything like that where I needed it to be quiet. So I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, let's install the vents so that the air circulates better. I'm thankful for it because it shows in my light bill, okay? However, it doesn't do so good for like the soundproofing. One of my kids was joking around, it's like, Mom, if you don't want to hear us, you need to put the soundproofing foam on the walls. And like, he literally went all out the extra way and researched it. And like, it was even like, Mom, you should get these ones. And I'm like, dude, it's not that serious. Like, it's not like I'm getting paid millions of dollars for a production. I'm doing this for fun. So I just thought it was absolutely adorable that they tried to help me. And I'm like, thank you for the consideration. However, it's not that serious. All three of my kids have ADHD, and what comes with that, so 3 have ADHD and 2 have been diagnosed with low needs autism. So what that means is my kids have certain characteristics for their autism, which is like food sensory issues. One of my kids had a speech delay. Both of them have social awkwardness, stuff like that. But if you met them and talked to them, you wouldn't think anything was different than a quote-unquote non-neurodivergent individual, which is why it took us so long to get them diagnosed. Something just wasn't sitting right, like the insomnia, the anxiety, the food aversion, delayed speech, stuff like that. Some of it did overlap with ADHD, which it runs on my side of the family, and my husband has it as well. So it was just like, apparently like the right storm was brewing in our house when we procreated, apparently. So for my kids, they don't realize how loud they're being. And when I first started like my YouTube channel, I was the same way, guys. Like, I would be talking at a normal decibel. As you can see, I'm struggling here. Um, I would be talking at a normal decibel, and then I would go through and like edit my videos. I was like, why is my like audio it sounded distorted? Because again, I was learning, right? I was like, why is it so distorted? Is that the right one? Yes. Um, so then I realized on my mic, there's a thing called a gain feature on it. It's like right now I have my gain set higher, and I got me some wired in headsets so I can hear my audio feedback in real time. So if you noticed, my speaking has gotten a lot better, and it's not so loud per se, because it used to be loud. So for me, I'm talking at what non-neurodivergent individuals call is a normal level. But for me, I feel like I'm whispering into the mic. Like it takes a lot of self-control for me to not speak really loud and animated. That's just comes with ADHD, unfortunately. And all three of my kids have that. My husband, he has it when he's talking to people, in the sense of it can come off as he's yelling, right? And I'm like, babe, you sound like you're yelling. He's like, I'm not yelling. So then he gets defensive, and I'm like, I know, like, I'm just saying, like, it comes off like that, right? Like, now I know what people meant by like that auditory processing. And it's not just like with our volume as well. Sometimes, guys, you can be talking to me and I'm really trying to listen, right? Like I'm intently looking at you. I'm I'm trying to hear what you're saying, but sometimes it comes out like Charlie Brown mode for me. So it's just like it sounds like gibberish. It literally sounds like wom 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 to me. So if you ever see somebody with ADHD either kind of like looking down or away, it's not that we're not listening to you. We're trying to focus on what you're saying. And if it's something that we're really not understanding, sometimes we'll kind of just look at you and give you the, huh? What did you say? Look. So I've just learned to tell people like, hey, like I'm not trying to be rude. Um, I did not catch any of that. I am so sorry. I was not like I automatically take the responsibility for that. Like, hey, I was not paying attention what you were saying to me. What were you saying to me? So, it's helped tremendously with communication with coworkers, um, patients, even my kids. So I've taught my kids to do the same thing, to be like, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. And so we've just developed systems to put in place to help like manage that. So there's a little fun fact for you guys. That's why I get frustrated when people are like, it's environmental. We didn't have that when we were kids. No, the problem was is that you didn't have medical professionals that didn't understand um, neurodivergencies. You guys had just what was a base, quote unquote, norm of what you guys was normal, right? It's always been here because it's been proven that it is genetics. It is not environmental. Are there things that contribute and can worsen your symptoms? Most definitely. Sugar, red dyes, those have been scientifically proven to worsen your ADHD symptoms. So, like in our household, we try to limit those things, but also with ADHD, guess what your body craves? Dopamine, which guess what sugar gives you? A dopamine hit. So it's like we have to find other things. So we try to encourage like lots of fruits and veg and, you know, other things for them to get their little dopamine hits. So if you didn't know, there's your little lesson for the day. I know with things going on in the world right now, some people stand on their business where they think things are all made up, and hey, more power to you, but like I have worked in medicine for several years. I've done my own research, and no, not Dr. Google. I've done independent peer reviews and studies, just so I can understand what exactly we are dealing with and all those things. People don't understand the stuff that goes into testing for these kind of things, and I implore you to just kind of take a look at what people, when they get those diagnoses, it's not an easy process. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not like you walk into the doctor's office one day, you're like, hey, I'm having these problems. And like, cool, you have ADHD, here's some meds. No, that's not how it works. And what I always tell people, you would be shocked, and I mean flabbergasted, with the amount of people that are neurodivergent that are holding up our science and math sector of the world, because that's what neurodivergent people thrive in, is typically math and sciences, right? Because it makes sense. There's answers and then there's no answers, and you can always work towards a goal. So you would be shocked when I say, when you walk into a medical office and see how well people quote unquote mask to blend in with quote unquote normal people's what we say. But the majority of healthcare workers that hold up our healthcare system, including lab techs, doctors, nurses, radiologists, all those people that do those things, medical assistants, they're neurodivergent in some sort of way. Either they're diagnosed or they haven't been diagnosed yet, and they realize that they're a little bit different than non-neurodivergent people. So there's a little fun fact for you there. I feel like when I do my Stitch With Me's, you guys are always like learning something new. And that's why I love doing Stitch With Me's and just chit-chatting. Even though it's me talking to you guys do respond in the comments and you do send messages, which I really appreciate. So I guess my question in this video would be, do you know anybody in your family that's like neurodivergent? Chime in below. Like, just give me some feedback. What do you think? What have you personally encountered and what have you seen? It was just kind of funny because my cousin, I love him to death. He's my favoriteest cousin. He went onto Facebook and he was like, he lives in Japan right now. And when I say that man is intelligent, my cousin speaks multiple languages. He has multiple degrees. He has a doctorate, I believe, in linguistics. I know, linguistics. That should have been our first sign, right? So he went to the doctor for, having anxiety, and he thought he had the ADHD. And he goes, I walked out several weeks and several tests later with high functioning anxiety and autism. And I was just like, well, cousin, you do like languages. And when I say this man likes languages, he likes languages. But you would have thought by interacting with my cousin, he's just a highly intelligent individual. So for the rest of us, we're like, what? Really? Like that was your diagnosis? I definitely thought maybe, I kind of figured anxiety, but I did not think autism. But then when we kind of look at like the smaller things, right? Like interests in like one subject. So for example, knowing all the things about that one subject. I call it, my husband gets mad at me because I was like, where do you get all this useless knowledge from? Like the people that go on Jeopardy type useless, right? So for me, I was like, well, the cousin, I guess it makes sense. So for him, he was just like, whatever, my whole life makes sense now. Like, and he's always been really good at like science and math. Like, for example, my autistic son, he loves all things History Channel or how it's made. This boy, he loves like military, like airplanes and crafts and cars and guns. You can literally point to something and be like, hey, what kind of plane is this? And this boy will be like, I don't know. I don't even know one. I'm just gonna say, oh, a B-52 bomber created in 1943. Like, how the hell do you know that at your age? Like, I'm just like, for example, I really love cross stitching, right? I love the act of keeping my hands together, keeping my hands busy. But y'all, when I say I know for a fact there are people out there that know a lot more like than me. I just barely learned like this stitching method right here. Guys, this is called a Dutch stitch. What? I'm like, okay, if you say so, I'm Dutch stitching apparently. Sorry, I have like a little small knot. Hold on, let me see. And I don't want to cut my thread for where it's at. Let me see. It's like right here. Do you see it? It's super small. There we go. It's super small. And it fits through the holes snugly. So I'm not willing to cut my thread for that, as you can see. So it just gets a little stuck. So I have to pull it through. But as you can see, it's not doing like any damages to my holes or anything. So I'm just going to keep stitching. I just got to pop it through those holes. Yep. So there's a fun fact in this week's Stitch With Me is our whole family's a bunch of neurospicy people. Our whole house is all 5 of us because I do have 3 kids, which would make sense because when I tell people that we have huskies and that's like our family breed, and they're like, they're so energetic, they have so much energy, there's so much work, and I was like, no, not not really. Like, and then when I actually think about it, I'm like, actually they are, because I literally, like right now I'm stitching, right, and doing my filming. They're in their kennel. I know they're not happy right now. Because as soon as they hear me come out this door, they talk a lot, so I know that they're going to be howling at me to get out that kennel. And like one of them, I call him Parkourian, because if you don't know what parkouring is, I encourage you to go on YouTube and be like, what is parkouring? And so you can kind of see what it is. Because that is that dog. Like, he like will run, and when he gets to a wall, instead of like slowing down, he'll like bounce. So like if this is the wall, he'll run and like bounce off of it and like come back around. Kind of like what a swimmer does in the pool when they're swimming and they need to do a flip, right? He does that in real life, off of furniture, off of the walls, and I'm just like, bro, what are we doing? And then my female husky, she's just very sassy in the sense of she knows what she wants. She won't take anything less. And that's it, just for her attitude, right? Like, she'll be like, well, I want a treat or a snack. And she will literally like sit with you. And like, she's starting to bark. She's starting to come into her own voice since we adopted her. But she'll like sit down and like bat at you. So she'll sit at you and go like this with her paws, like repeatedly. Is hilarious. So the other one, if he wants to be petted, he'll come up to you, look you dead in the eye, and be like, meow, meow. And I'm like, what? Do you want to go outside? And he'll just be like, meow. Like, he's trying to talk and communicate with us. It's absolutely hilarious. And I'll be like, oh, do you want pets? And then he'll like wag his tail. I've never met such a smart breed that quote unquote talks so much. I think it's hilarious. So, does anybody have pets? If so, what do you guys have? Like I said, we have 2 huskies and the little cockapoo. She's a yappa. I call her my security system because she barks as soon as that doorbell rings. So does our other 2, but she's the one that taught him how to bark at the doorbell. or cars pulling up in front of my house. Oh, look what I did there. Ah, okay, I need to fix that. I'll show you how I'm going to do it cheap way, okay? And then we had 4 cats, but our other one passed away in February, right after Valentine's Day. She was really old and sick. She had oral cancer, so she passed away at home, medicated. And then, like I said before, we have 3 male cats now, and they're all various ages. 2 are my kids and 1 is mine. So if you see there, that's, oops, that's how I am fixing this. Here, hold on. This one needs to go. Oops. I skipped a whole box, so I'm just fixing what I did. At least I thought I was, and here I was yapping about pets. Let me see. What can I do there? I can fix it that way. Okay. All right, so since we're close to 30 minutes, guys, I'm actually probably going to stop this here. I'm going to fix this, so give me a minute. All right, friends, I went ahead and fixed that little hiccup that I did off camera, so I'm just going to go ahead and call this Spring Mountain Week 7 a wrap. If you stood all the way till the end, thank you very much. I appreciate you doing that. It does help boost my videos to the suggestions, showing that you guys are interested in this content. So if you're my subscribers, thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you coming back, and I love chatting with you guys in the comments. If you're not a subscriber and this is the type of content that you like, if you liked this particular canvas or you like my channel in general, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I would love to have you along with this journey. If you liked this canvas and this stitch with me, go ahead and give me a thumbs up that you like this canvas. That lets me know what you guys are liking. Lastly, if you want to follow me over on social medias, I do have an Instagram and a TikTok. The username for those is stitching_with_Steph. And I've recently created a Facebook group for us for the stitchy community that we have here on YouTube as well as social media platforms. And that group is Stitching with Steph. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description box for that as well. So again, thank you for coming along with this week 7 Spring Mountain Stitch with me. I'll see you guys in my next Stitch with me throughout the week. I hope to see you soon and to chit chat with you. Goodbye.